Hello and welcome to another episode of Critical Political Thinking. My name is Corey Camasso and I'm your host. Today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump and how he plans to sue Facebook, Twitter, and also Google. We're going to discuss the lawsuit and how we feel it holds great validity, and we're going to also discuss how this lawsuit can potentially be opened up for future litigation for people like you and me, others that were censored throughout this entire endeavor. Additionally, we're going to talk about countries and how they become so emboldened. We have two major countries about to invade other countries. We have situations at hand that are just disgraceful. And we have a president doing absolutely nothing about it. So we're going to go over that and the hacking that has just occurred. And additionally, we're going to talk about the condo collapse in Florida. We're going to give you the latest death tolls. And obviously, we're going to go over our recent analysis. We were pretty much dead on. We hoped you checked that video out and saw exactly what happened at the condo, why it happened, and why we, from the get-go, expected 0 survivors. So stay tuned and welcome to another informative episode of Critical Political Thinking. Hello and welcome to another episode of Critical Political Thinking. My name is Corey Camasso, your host, and we're going to kick things off today with the major lawsuit announcement that Donald Trump had come out with this morning. Basically, he's suing Facebook, Twitter, and Google, and he's opening the door for a class action lawsuit. Now, it's important to understand most of the details of this litigation obviously have not been unveiled as of yet. Already, you have MSDNC, ABC, CNN, all these companies are already, and I say companies instead of news sources anymore because I consider them companies. They are agenda-driven. They're no longer media. So these companies are already addressing the situation in the light of the electoral litigation where he's not going to win, there's no chance in hell, this, that, and the other thing. But that's where we have a different perspective. And we're going to give you the truth in the matter and why we feel that this actually may result in a victory for Donald Trump and conservatives alike. So let's talk about that really quick. First, what is he suing about? He's suing because he had been restricted from social media. He had not been allowed to share his views, his opinions, his perceptions, and frankly, all the way up to and after the election. Now, one company has a permanent ban, one company will be reevaluating, so on and so forth. And they're claiming these are violations of their terms and conditions. However, that should be something that would be shared universally. And you have people like Maxine Waters, Hillary Clinton, Tom Arnold, Jimmy Carter, Andrew Cuomo, Chris Cuomo, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. All of these individuals did the identical thing, whether it be on Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook. You had Maxine Waters on her own posts posting, you have to get in these people's faces, raise hell. That's incitement. One way or another, that's incitement. Just like when Donald Trump said something, it depends on your perception whether or not you saw that as incitement of violence. And frankly, that's where we stand with this whole situation. That was incitement of violence on behalf of Maxine Waters, if you're going to say the same and hold Donald Trump accountable. Therefore, what Donald Trump is stating is that they did not universally extend these rules and regulations, and therefore they used it as a political agenda. And that's why he's suing for damages. And frankly, he may win. You have Maxine Waters for the violence. You have Hillary Clinton for electoral. How many times did they say Donald Trump was an illegitimate president? How many times? Their social media accounts weren't banned. Their Twitter accounts weren't permanently flagged. So, this lawsuit holds a lot of validity, and all we're trying to do in this entire thing is get equality. The same thing that all parties in this current day and age are fighting for is this equality thing. And until we're capable of actually addressing equality in a sense that people can really grasp it, I think we're constantly going to be at a battle with ourselves. There's no way to get out of this whole racism and this whole bigotry and this whole hate until everyone understands that there needs to be guidelines and central goals. There was an incident recently in a spa where a transgender individual, or so he claims, walked into a women's sauna pulled out his penis and flopped it around, according to the witnesses. Several witnesses. This isn't just the one woman. Everyone said he pulled it out, not played with it, but made a spectacle as if to call attention to himself. Now, naturally, this could make any woman uncomfortable, and rightfully it should, because that's their private space, a place for them to be comfortable with their own bodies and not have to feel emboldened or endangered by someone else in that room. Now, granted, everyone has the right to feel comfortable in their own space, but we need to draw a line at some point in common decency, and I really feel that the Democrats are just blurring that line and making it so far beyond anything recognizable that we'll never really be able to address our true concerns, our true inefficiencies, true racism, and true bigotry, because we're so busy focusing on all this garbage. You know, you have Andrew Cuomo's daughter coming out calling herself, I don't even know the word, disexual maybe, I forget what the word she used. I apologize, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But what that is a person that only has an individual that only has sex with someone that they have feelings for. So you mean a classy human being? You mean a human being with morals? But now that makes you some sort of a disadvantaged minority? Simply because you're naming yourself something and then including yourself. That's what all these people on the left are trying to do. They're trying to include themselves in all of these little minority categories in an effort to gain something, to win something, to get sorrow for themselves. And why? Go out and do something with yourself. Make yourself who you are. No one is holding you back but yourself. And until you're capable of understanding that concept, you will never be successful. No one can do it for you. Go out and do it yourself, God damn it. That's what's wrong with America right now. And I don't know that we're going to get around it. So much so that the Democratic Party has now literally emboldened each and every dictator in this world. You had the Haitian United States-backed president just executed. You know, an assassination on a president that, in a country, and that presidential candidate was somebody that the U.S. backed. It's scary. You know, you have China on the verge of attacking Taiwan. And, you know, this is something that obviously if they do, we would almost have no choice but to get involved with. They know this. They want this. They want to see. They're trying Joe Biden. They're going to do little tiny things like this and test the waters so that they realize and manipulate and see how they're going to address taking over America. And the Biden administration is going to get walked all over. Why? Because is Joe Biden really our president, or is he a puppet? He's a puppet. 56% of Americans think that Joe Biden is not the person in charge of our country. How is that okay? How is that right? And they don't think Kamala is either. So who's running America? And that's exactly what people like Putin and Xi are attempting to find out by testing the waters. Now, Russia's on the verge of attacking Ukraine. You have Russia continually hacking America. Now, they claim Russia hacked the RNC. We're going to have to look more into that. I do believe that they threw ransomware in 1,500 some companies. That's common sense. That's something Russia would do. But for them to just pick the RNC and not the DNC when that's the president, unless they got something going on. But there's something for you to think about. But outside of that, it makes me believe that maybe the RNC wasn't hacked necessarily by Russians, but maybe the same people that Hunter Biden worked with, over there for Burisma. We don't know. We're going to find out. It's going to come through. It's going to come to light. And now, will the American public ever be held privy to that information? Probably not, because we have a corrupt power leading our country. We have a government agency that we can't even properly identify who is in charge. I mean, every time somebody asks this man a question, he has to pull out notes and read the notes verbatim because he doesn't know. And if he doesn't know, how can he make those decisions? Oh, wait, I know he can't. He isn't. America, we're in trouble. We have all of the major countries that Donald Trump kept at bay. Whether you liked him or not, he didn't start a single war. The economy was on the up and up. And you can't give me the BS about, unemployment and the BS about all these other things. And do you want to let me explain to you why you can't give me that. I'll make it very simple. The pandemic was a manufactured pandemic. Whether you like it or not, There were other viruses, there are other problems in our country. And for us to say that this one was more potent or powerful than any other is a simple lie. And the facts will eventually come out. And I'm not saying coronavirus wasn't a serious viral outbreak, but what I am saying, it was not necessary to shut America down for an entire year. It was not necessary for China to gain more power through the sale of PPE and everything else. You know, they started it, and yet they're the only country to profit from it. And we don't find that a problem. Not under a democratic lead, no. America, we got to do something. There is nothing getting better. It's all getting worse. The only good news we have today is Donald Trump is suing social media. And that's something we shouldn't even have to do. We as Americans should have the right of freedom of speech, freedom of press, whatever the case may be, and we simply don't have it anymore. It's an illusion. You have it if you agree with the bigger picture. If you don't agree with the bigger picture, or I shouldn't say the bigger picture, I should say the democratic picture, because it's not really the bigger picture, it's just the more populated in media, meaning the people that have the bigger mouths are the only ones that are pushing it. But the people with the bigger brains are the ones that know better. We're in trouble there. We're going to touch briefly on the condo collapse. I do apologize, I'm lisping today. I had some oral surgery, so having a little bit of difficulty speaking, but we're getting through it. We had the condo collapse. We had our video on the condo collapse, and we explained, what caused the collapse, where the structure in the basement dropped, caused a structure wall with 3 posts to fail, and the whole left side of the condo came down. Unfortunately, the death toll has now hit 54. 54 innocent people dead, and the rest missing are presumed dead now. This has turned from a search and rescue to recovery. And that is so unfortunate because, as we had described from the beginning, it didn't look to us like they were going to find these pockets they were looking for. In our opinion, they knocked down that other building simply to find bodies. And in doing so, I believe they killed 2 animals. There were 2 cats that they never did find. And in my guess, they hid, they were scared, they tried to hide nearest the sense that they recognized, and unfortunately, they now perished as well. But it is important to find those humans for closure for the remaining families and those loved ones that are truly in desperation. This is a tragic incident. If you have the ability to help these individuals in Florida, there are a lot of great GoFundMes. Please look in before you just go and donate. Make sure it is, of course, a legitimate fund. But these are people that are desperately in need of your assistance. And now on top of that, they're facing, this tropical storm. It's just one thing after another. So unfortunately, America, I don't have great news to share with you today, other than the fact that possibly we may be getting some of our voice back. We hope you learned a little bit more today and why we need to truly fear what's going on in the world. We have to understand the world perspective and see how other countries are reviewing. Don't just watch local news. Check out a few other countries. Check out Sky News in Australia, a great news company. Check out the BBC. Check out different channels and different countries' perspectives to see where we truly stand in this whole scheme of things. Because right now, if you're only watching American media, you're being lied to. You're being manipulated, and you will never know the truth. Thank you so much for watching Critical Political Thinking. Again, we apologize for a shorter episode. My name is Corey Camasso. Please like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, rumble, share, comment. Do everything you can to help us get the truth out there, because we'll tell you right now, the algorithms are currently working against us. Donald Trump is obviously working to resolve that, but whether or not he is successful, time will tell. In the meantime, please share everything that we present. Please visit our website at www.criticalpoliticalthinking.com. Check out all of our great exclusive content that is only available on there, because obviously it would be censored in these current day and age on YouTube and whatnot. Also, if you have the ability to help us grow, obviously we're a nonprofit, we're not paid for our services, so if you would be so kind as to join our Critical Political Thinkers Club for as low as $5, and depending on what tier, you can get yourself an awesome Critical Political Thinking mug, some t-shirts. We don't do the face masks anymore, those are garbage. Well, they weren't garbage, we had high quality masks, but at the same time, the whole concept is garbage. But, ladies and gentlemen, please check out our website, check out criticalpoliticalthinking.com, and help us share the truth. Again, thank you so much for watching Critical Political Thinking. My name is Corey Camasso. God bless America.